Rock Metal Nation, what is up? Real quick before we get started, I just wanted to let you know that Rock Metal Studios, the very same studio that brings you the Rock Metal podcast, is looking to help bands who are able to record their tracks either at home or in a professional recording studio, but need some help mixing. Go ahead and send me an email at therockmetalpodcast@gmail.com. That's therockmetalpodcast@gmail.com. We can go ahead and discuss mixing your tracks for free. The Rock Metal Podcast, episode 137 with Mission Jupiter. Rock Metal Nation, what is up? This is John from the Rock Metal Podcast. That sample you just heard was The Sea of Hopes by Mission Jupiter, who I've got on the show with me right now. They've got a new album called Architecture, set to release via Epictronic Records on May 4th. And right now I'm being joined by guitarist Vladimir Shvakel and vocalist Nastasia Shvetsova to share some stories about the music and share more info about the band. Guys, welcome to the show.
Hey, John.
Hey.
It's a great pleasure to talk to you, really. Thank you.
Absolutely great to have you on. Let's go and listen back to that track, The Sea of Hopes.
Let's move on beyond your mind, over you, beyond the problems on your way. Step over, keep your faith. This is what you're waiting for. Please respond to this. I'm falling into this space. Please don't stand in my way. I'm running
I come back from the Sea of Hopes. Definitely a very dreamy yet incredibly driving track.
Yes. The Sea of Hopes is, quite touching, intense, sort of, I would say, classical Mission Jupiter song. Because to some extent, our band divides, several songs into two groups. I think modern Mission Jupiter and classical Mission Jupiter. So I think, the Sea of Hopes is more like a kind of classical Mission Jupiter song. So it has straight structure and a memorable vocal melody. To our mind, it's more powerful and emotional composition on the album. The song, by the way, is dedicated to all people who are addicted to something. And, so it has wonderful line, "Come closer to the sea, is it difficult to see the deepest hole inside your soul?" So I think this situation drives them crazy, and I think, actually, everybody has to admit their weaknesses. And the chorus, "I'm falling to the space, please don't stand in my way, I'm walking across the ocean, this is blind devotion." This is the main chorus of the composition, and this is, by the way, totally contradictory idea. I mean, on the one hand, there is no necessity to save the person, but on the other hand, this is a sort of cry for help. To lend a helping hand and to give up with dark things. I think this is the main idea of the song called "The Sea of Hopes."
Wow. Very deep topic, sir.
Thanks.
Now, I'm curious, you mentioned, classical Mission Jupiter versus a more modern Mission Jupiter. Why don't you go in and take us through that process of how the song came to be? Was it like a conscious decision to make it a little more classical, more than, say, modern, or how did that come about in the writing process?
One of our first songs, actually. That's why it's more classical, we think. When we met together, we created it, so that's why it is so.
This is so, by the way, so it's so, I would say, usual for us. I think we love this style, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
And so we decided to create something very powerful, intense. And then we just...
Understandable to our
Understandable
audience.
for our audience.
Wow. And so was this track then in the beginning of the writing process for the entire album?
Yes. This track, so we just wrote them, well, I would not say at the very beginnings. Probably that was the second track.
Yeah, the second one.
The second one. I think the first one is the Either Dream or Not song, but still, so we just rewrote this song, recomposed it, and right now, it sounds more modern, like modern Mission Jupiter. But the Sea of Hopes, so it's powerful with the classic guitar solos, with classical bridges in the songs, plus quite heavy and loud choruses.
Yeah, and the interesting thing is that in listening to the album, it doesn't sound like it's a separate song, if that makes sense. Like it's very well molded into the character of the entire album. So I'm just kind of curious, maybe spend a little bit of time with your producer's involvement to make the whole thing sound like Mission Jupiter.
Eugene did it.
Yes, a wonderful guy. So this is really, this guy is magician. So I think he...
Miracle maker.
Miracle maker, yeah. Well, actually, we had quite, 7 or 8 separate songs. And we realized that these songs sound in the whole atmospheric mood. But at the same time, we had to compose this song in one whole picture. So that's why we told our drummer, a wonderful guy called Eugene, hey, Zhenya, it's the right time right now to compose the whole album as the whole and,
as one body.
As one body, as one strong picture. So he just did it, and we're proud of what we have right now.
Absolutely. Great track. Let's go and listen to the next track, Will You Be Loved?
Wake me from sleep. Can't you see that I shouldn't breathe? Remember the day you gone, horrible Sunday. You swear that you will love me till the end of time and never made of puzzles. In the arms of God we try to be united. We're fighting for freedom. We're lying, denying no fear, and all is up to you.
Rock Metal Nation, it's John from the Rock Metal Podcast for a real quick break to let you know that Jay over at Metal Mayhem Radio is looking to help you get your band in rotation on his station. So go ahead and hit up Jay at studio@metalmayhemradio.co.uk. That is studio@metalmayhemradio.co.uk. Just go ahead and say that the Rock Metal Podcast sent you. He'll get you into rotation on Metal Mayhem Radio. All right, coming back from Will You Be Loved. Definitely the sax solo does it for me.
Yes. Well, actually, the saxophone. So we decided to include the saxophone in this song because, actually, while listening to different rocky songs, different songs in the rock genre. So you always realize and understand the fact that in most songs, there is kind of a guitar solo. But then we discussed that and we decided to include saxophone solo, which is based on the guitar partitures, on the guitar parts. Here, to our mind, the saxophone sounds like the guitar. I mean, it doesn't sound like jazz instrument. Mm-hmm. So it sounds like the guitar, but this is saxophone. So this is quite unusual. So it's quite rocky, intense and very melodic. And so we are proud with this instrument and with the guy who plays this wonderful instrument.
Now, it sounds like you kind of mentioned it a little bit earlier, but I just wanted to check it for Rock Metal Nation who may not have heard it. What's the story or inspiration behind Will You Be Loved?
Well, actually, this is a song about deceit and betrayal. This is a song about broken relationships. So this is our emotions. So we just decided to write something about that.
Cool. Now, for Rock Metal Nation who dug the track Will You Be Loved, if you go to today's show notes, that's www.therockmetalpodcast.ca, you can go ahead and see the music video for Will You Be Loved. Now, go ahead and take us through the planning of this incredibly eloquent, intimate, explosive, mostly intimate, I think, music video.
Well, Master can say something about that.
So, as you know, the video was filmed in the artist studio, so it's a place where something personal took place. So it was art, and it is full of different emotions and experience and life itself. And the video is about missing someone so much and so much that you feel the nearness of this person in every subject which is around.
And in every corner of the studio.
Yeah. And the idea of the video brings you to the question, will you be loved? Is it possible to believe in the yes answer when you have lost all the hopes and faith in something good?
Well, actually, this video is kind of memory. I mean, so it's full of different memories. While watching this video, you may notice that this is kind of memories of the main character of this video, of Nastya. And yes, it's full of deepest thoughts, full of ideas, full of thoughts how to lead them further, how to cope with all these negative things which run relationships bring to us.
Wow. Cool. Now, for Rock Metal Nation, who dug the two tracks, A Sea of Hope's Will You Be Loved, it's been exciting news to hear that there is an album coming out called Architecture set to drop May 4th. So, go ahead and tell us about this album, Architecture. What should we expect?
So each composition is extremely different, but as we have already mentioned, the album is very complete. It sounds complete. And we called our album Architecture because it's our first full album, and we built this album brick by brick together, and we contributed to this album
a lot of our efforts, ideas,
and we are very different people. And we have rather different tastes, and in music also, and that is why architecture.
This is kind of this is our own building, and we hope that everyone will feel comfortable in our building. We just invite every person to hear what we have done. I mean,
Definitely.
Yes, definitely, and just one more thing about the album. I would say that, this is probably too loud, but we suppose that probably every person will find something interesting, something unique for his or herself in this album, because the songs are really too different. Here we have instrumental compositions, classical songs, more classic metal, even metal songs, just kind of progressive metal stuff, plus different, light songs, dark songs, songs which are stuffed with different electronic things. And to our mind, yes, that will be interesting for today's listeners.
Very cool. Now, the next logical question on Rock Metal Nation's mind is, how can we find out more about you guys? Is there a website that we should go to?
So, of course, music platforms like Gigmeet, SoundCloud, Music Mama, and so on. And Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, like all the possible variants, I suppose.
Yeah.
So, and we were assigned to Vivo channel also.
Very soon, yes.
Yeah, and that is why we have lots of opportunities to find us.
All right, cool stuff. So, guys, unless there's anything else you wanted to throw out there, I just wanted to thank you for taking time out of your day to come on to the Rock Metal Podcast and sharing Mission Jupiter with Rock Metal Nation.
Thanks for wonderful conversation.
Thanks a lot.
Wake me from sleep, can't you see that I should?
All right, Rock Metal Nation. Hopefully you just found your new favorite band in Mission Jupiter. Big thanks again to them for coming on and sharing their music with us. Make sure to head over to www.therockmetalpodcast.ca to get all the information on the show you just heard today. And until then, rock on, Rock Metal Nation.
Rock Nation.